you come to me the day before your initial flight attendant training. Okay, she's done. That was my fun intro. Here we are. So if you're watching this, you probably want to become a flight attendant, or you've just received your CJO. Maybe you are a flight attendant and you're just looking at other flight attendant content. Maybe you're just a flight attendant fanatic. Or, I don't know, maybe you're on a YouTube rabbit hole. I'm not going to judge you. I hope you like what you find, but here are my 5 top tips for initial flight attendant training. I got the idea to do this video because I'm about ready to go to recurrent. This is my big binder that I started during my initial training. It has all my knowledge, all my notes, everything I need to know is in here and in my manual that was given to me by my company. But I always review this, and then especially right before recurrent, I review everything I have in here. Well, maybe not everything, but I just look through it. It's a good refresher. So every flight attendant has to go to an annual recurrent training, but this is for your initial 4 to 8 week, depending on what airline you're flying with, training. And I'm just going to get right into it. Right, my first tip is prepare before you get there. So what I mean by that is not just like mentally prepare, like what you're doing right now, that's part of it. Looking up videos, finding out what you need to know, but also like physically prepare, pack, tell anyone you need to know what's going on, where you're going to be going, if you have plants that need to get watered, pets that need to be looked after, make sure all of that is sorted, because you do not want to be stressing over anything while you're in training. Training takes a lot out of you. Prepare before you get there also means you're going to be doing a lot of studying. So you want to go to the store, you want to get study supplies, highlighter, a binder, like I did, a binder, pencils, pens, anything that really makes you like feel good about studying, anything that you use as a really good study tool. You know yourself best with this. I am totally into index cards, so I was using index cards for everything. And then also, when you do have your job offer, they will send you all this information you need to know. There was a test I needed to study for before I got there, so I had all that information. I was already studying. I was having friends help me. I was trying to like reach out and find other people that were like getting ready to be a flight attendant. Didn't find anyone. But it was really great. I had a good time. And studying before you get there and preparing just makes the transition so much easier. I think it was way better for me to go there and have an idea of what I needed to know, to have already read a bunch, watched a bunch of videos, like read articles and stuff like that, instead of just going and not knowing what to expect and being thrown into the deep end. Also, with preparing, I want to make sure that you pack. Make sure you pack everything you need, but don't go too crazy. You do not want to be the person bringing 4 or 5 bags with you to training. I brought 2 bags, and I think that was about enough. I brought like 2 carry-on bags. I maybe should have like brought a bigger bag, but you really don't need that much clothes. You know, you're going to be in class, in a classroom setting for like 5 to 6 days a week. My attire, it had to be like business casual, so I was wearing like button-ups and slacks. So I had like 3 or 4 button-ups, 2 pairs of slacks, maybe 3 pairs of slacks, and then a casual outfit, workout clothes, and pajamas. I only brought 1 casual outfit because I thought, oh, I'm never going to do anything other than study, and that was wrong. I would bring 2 or 3 pairs of casual outfits because I was in the laundromat all the time. My second tip, this is where I failed, not anything to do with training, but think about food before you get there. Kind of start picturing in your mind what you're going to eat. If you have a special diet, this is like really important. But I didn't even think about food. Like, of all the things I was thinking about, eating was so far down my list, and I ended up living off of basically like sweet potatoes and GNC meal replacement powder mix, which wasn't bad, but definitely I would recommend kind of getting a vague idea of what your food situation is going to be. And my third tip, and this is one that I hammered on to everyone that I was training with and to myself, it was get good sleep. If there's one tip I could give to you guys, it would be to get good sleep. It is so important to sleep well, and like your body needs sleep, and you're learning so much and you're under so much stress and you can't get sick and you have to know so much in such little time. It is way better to sleep. I know you're going to have so much to study. My method was after class, I would maybe study for like an hour, 90 minutes-ish, but then I would stop and I would just have me time. I would relax, I'd watch some videos, I'd take a shower, I'd maybe go to the gym, maybe go for a walk if it wasn't too late, and then I'd just go to sleep. And I would try and get as much sleep as I could, and I'd wake up and I'd study. I'd wake up a little earlier than other people were, and I'd study in the morning because that's what worked best for me. It's going to work best, differently for other people. But that was the pattern that I liked, where I got sleep and I got to study. And it worked well. And that will go on past training. As a flight attendant, sleep. Fatigue is one of the most common safety concerns that a flight attendant will encounter. We're flying odd hours, we're flying long hours, sometimes we're not getting off until the middle of the day, sometimes we're, getting back at 2 a.m. And, luckily, I have a contract, I'm union, so we have minimum rest times, and the FAA has minimum rest times, but still, the FAA minimum rest time is 10 hours. So that's not a lot when you calculate getting home or getting to your hotel, winding down, changing, you have to shower, you're not going to get that much sleep. So you want to get into a good sleep habit. You want to really respect the importance of sleep from day one. Before you have your wings, start getting some sleep. All right, tip number 4 is I would treat this entire experience, this entire training, as one big, long job interview. I had seen at least one person in between. It was during a lunch break or during a classroom break. We weren't in class, we were on the premises, and I don't know what happened, I wasn't in the room, but I guess he had said something to someone, and he was kicked out of training for it. They deemed it inappropriate. And the guy was a little inappropriate, and he'd make comments like that and stuff. But it's just something you gotta remember. Yes, this is training, yes, you do have your conditional job offer, you've gone through the interview process. Some of them have really long interview process, some airlines. But the entire time you're there, you have your little badge, you have to make sure that you are acting as you would act in a job interview. I feel like that is so important, and people sometimes get really relaxed and they forget that there's certain things you can't do. You can't be looking at your phone during training, you can't be talking to people during training, and you want to do that stuff in a job interview. If you're in a job interview, you wouldn't sneakily check your phone. If you're in a job interview and there's 3 of you, you wouldn't just start side chatter with the person next to you. Just kind of keep that mindset up, because they are, at least from my experience and from what I know and from what I've heard, they are watching you this entire time. Now, that being said, that leads into tip number 5, and this is another really, really important one. It's probably my second most important one. They want to help you. They want you to pass. All of your instructors, everyone in the company, all of your teachers, everyone who's putting aside their time to teach you how to be a good flight attendant, they want you to pass. No one at any airline actively wants you to fail, unless you guys have personal beef that happened before you guys joined. But they are spending so much time and money. My airline, they put me up in a hotel for 5 weeks. I didn't have to pay for. They flew me out there. I didn't have to pay for that either. That's a lot of money that they're spending on one person, and they want to get that back. I know other airlines are different. Not everyone has that, but still. They went through the process to hire you, to put you through a background check, a drug test, all of this stuff. They want you to pass. They want you to get your wings. So take every opportunity you can and ask for help. If you're stuck, if you need guidance, ask, ask, ask. Always ask for help. Never be afraid. Never think, oh, if I show weakness, they're gonna look at me even closer. They might. In a little bit, if you are having a hard time with the oxygen drill and you're asking a bunch of questions, when it comes time to the actual oxygen drill, they might ask you the stuff that you were tripped up on. This isn't to get you out. This is to make sure that you do know your stuff. And they want to help you. They really, really do. Trust me. I know it's stressful. I know you don't know anyone there. you're in over your head, and you've put in so much time, and you put your entire life on hold for weeks for this opportunity to maybe have your dreams come true and get your wings and become a flight attendant. And it's easy to think that they don't want the best for you. But trust me, they do. 5 tips on flight attendant initial training. Let me know if you have any questions, anything you want me to elaborate on. I hope that wasn't too long. But if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. I appreciate you so much, and come back and comment when you're done with training or while you're at training. And I want to know how you're doing. Tell me how you're doing in the comments, please. Please. I love flying. I love flight attendants, and I want to know how it's going for you. If you have any questions at all, anything about being a flight attendant, drop a comment down below, and I will answer them in the next video or in a future video. I'm not sure what my next video is going to be yet. So good luck, everyone. Good luck, my future flight attendants, and for any current flight attendants, hi. I hope I see you on the line.